Hey guys, Mike here from Old Man Things. How you doing? Let me light my pipe. This is kind of going to be a fun video, I think. So, I've got the old codger tobacco jar, and I've got 10-year-old half and half. And I'm smoking it in an old codger pipe that was my dad's. A Willard? Yeah, Willard. Look at that, old Dublin. And I'll tell you why. But first, let me light my pipe. This is gonna I haven't smoked this pipe in years. First, I got a parcel today in the mail from my dear friends Mr. and Miss Worm in England. I'm quite excited, and it's been I got this earlier today, and I've been anxious like a kid in Christmas. Want to open this up. Let me figure out, it's quite taped. Let me figure out how to open it without wrecking whatever's inside. I used to get stuff from my dad and would be so excited. And I'd be, come on, you can open it, and he'd have his drink. Oh, I should say I'm having a beer. It's my dad's birthday today. He's been dead for 7 years, but cheers. So I'd be so excited, and I'd say, come on, open it. And he'd say, I'm just enjoying it, okay? You haven't already guessed, Charlie is... My dad inspired me to do Charlie, or Charlie, I don't know how you'd word it. But anyways, alright, let's open it up. Oh boy. First is a letter, and I'll keep that to myself. They did survive, Miss Worm. They did. Oh boy. Holy cow. I didn't expect this. Wow. So it's the Battle of Trafalgar, Horatio. And it's a 200-year commemorative 1 crown coin. It's got the old queen on the back. This is so neat. And then here's another one. And this is the 250th anniversary of old Nelson. That is so neat. And if you don't already know, I'm a huge fan of Nelson. In fact, I wanted to name my son Horatio. And my wife said, she said, I don't think so. And I said, let me do it. And she said, I'll make a deal with you, because she was naughty. But she said, I'll make a deal with you. If you can spell Hiroshio. Right now, correctly, you can name your son, our son that. Well, of course, you knew I was going to fail. That is so nice. Thank you so much. This is awesome. And these will go up in the old Frog and Toad. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Worm. Thank you, Miss Worm. So, cheers to you both. Okay, this is going to be a long video probably. I'm going to try to do some stories about my dad that I can remember. I don't have a good memory anymore. And some of these I may have already said. So, my dad died 7 years ago, like next week or something. He lived till he was 69. And he wanted to make it to 69. Yet, when he first married my mom and dad divorced when I was 6, but when he first married my mom, he told my mom that he said, I'm going to live until I'm 69. Well, he was right. So one day it was his birthday, and I was already married and believe I had my first son, who ended up not being named Hiroshio. And I was on my lunch hour, only had and it took like 10, 12 minutes to get to home, and then 12 minutes to get back, so I basically had like a half an hour. And I spent the whole time trying to call my dad for his birthday, because I knew I wouldn't have gotten a hold of him at all in the afternoon when I got off of work. So every time he would pick up the phone, he would hang up. And I was getting so frustrated, and my wife kept on saying, you're going to be late for work. You've attempted it. It's the thought what counts. Just forget it. And I said, no, I'm. So finally I said, I'm going to do it once more. So I rang that phone. Now, mind you, this was my whole lunch hour. Rang the phone. As I heard him pick it up, I yelled as loud as I could, don't hang up the phone! And I heard my dad go, oh, this damn thing. And I said, why are you hanging it up? And he said, I don't understand it, okay? Again, you can hear Charlie because it's my dad. But anyhow, I said, I just wanted to call. Well, first I said, I'm just calling to say happy birthday. I said, how old are you, 79? And I just would always say that. And he went, no, I'm 62 years old. I don't know how old he was, but he said that was. And I said, well, I just wanted to say happy birthday. I'll talk to you later. I love you. And he went, thanks for calling, Jim. And put the phone down. So after all that, after my whole lunch hour, he thought I was his brother. And I never got any credit for calling him. Oh well. That was fun though. So one time he would always, it was old school back in the day, you know. Not like today, so. And we were in small town Wisconsin, you know, so it was a different life than it is now. But anyhow, he would drive and he would drink, and it was like nothing, and you knew lots of people that would drive and drink. drink and drive. And he would keep the 6-pack or the 12-pack in the back seat underneath the mat. And he would never, for whatever reason, he wouldn't say. He would just go like this as he was driving. He'd go like that. To hand him a beer. So then I would. So one night we were driving, and it was nighttime, and we stopped at a gas station for him to get us another 6-pack or to get his first 6-pack or. And I said, "Can I have a Coke?" And so he got me a Coke, and he got his 6-pack or 12-pack, and of course he always stuck it underneath his mat, so if a cop would pull him over, they wouldn't see, I guess. I should say it's like 90 degrees in here. It's hot as anything, but I thought it's appropriate to do this in the old Frog and Toad. So he's driving and driving, and at one point he goes like that. So I was a naughty kid. I was very naughty. And what made me decide to do this, I don't know. Probably the same thing inside of me that made me think, well, let me get a bunch of puppets and do a drunk instead. I don't know. Anyhow, I hadn't opened my Coke yet. So as he went like that, I went to reach back and I got the idea, what if I gave him my Coke? So I pretended to bring back a beer, and I handed him my Coke. And he would drive like this. He'd have his cigarette in this hand and his beer in this. So he would drive like this. And so he was driving, he had it in his hand, and he'd bring his hand quick, and he'd open it up like that, and you hear, pop the top. And he's driving, and he took a sip. He's driving. He goes to take a second sip. And as he takes the second sip, all of a sudden, he swerves like that. And the car is going like that. And he yells, "Michael!" And we almost died from his drinking his Coke. I don't know what he thought it was. Oh, that was funny. When we were kids, we would drive up to Canada, and he would not stop. My grandparents lived there by Toronto, in a town called Paris, Ontario, and he would not stop. And back in the day, you got peanut butter jars that were made out of glass. So my brother and I each had our own glass jar. So if we had to go to the bathroom, number one, we had to use a glass jar because he would not stop for nothing. And years later, I was driving him and he was in the back seat. My brother is in the passenger seat. And of course he was drinking his beer, and he would want to stop like every 15 minutes. And finally I said, "Dad, remember you had us out, you wouldn't stop for us, and you had us go in those peanut butter jars?" And he went, "Yep, I remember the peanut butter jars." So I said, "I hope you have a good peanut butter jar back there, because I'm not stopping." He never said a word. And then a little while later, he threw one of his beer cans out the window, and kaboosh! So we stopped after that. He had this dog. It was so mean. It was a half German Shepherd, half Doberman. His name was Bo. And it was the meanest, biggest dog. Oh, was it mean. When my brother was having an army recruiter come to talk to my dad because my brother was at that time considering going into the army after high school. Well, we had a fenced-in backyard, and my brother was begging my dad to please put Bo in the back in the fenced-in backyard, and my dad had this little, probably a 6-foot leash, and had the collar on Bo and had this leash and had the leash wrapped around his hand, so there was probably like this much between Bo's collar and my dad's hand, and he was sitting there with him, and he said, "No, I got Bo all under control." So the guy pulls up and gets out of the car, and my brother's just pleading with my dad, "Please put him in the back, please put him in the back." And my dad was saying, "No, I got it all under control." Well, I was sitting on the couch next to my dad, and that was the back of the living room, and the front door opened up into the living room. And that army recruiter stepped in, and the second he stepped in, Bo went whoop and lunged at the guy. Well, as he lunged at the army recruiter, I see my dad fly through the air. And it was like slow mo. And as Bo lunged, my dad went flying clear across the whole living room and lands flat on his face on the living room, and Bo's taking off, and my dad's just flying on the carpet with his face down. And as Bo goes after the guy, my brother was able to stop Bo between his legs and grab hold of his collar. Well, by that time, that army recruiter was already in his car with the door shut, and my dad was just dazed. He just laid there, didn't move. And I kept on saying, "Dad, are you okay? Are you okay?" And he just laid there. I thought maybe he had a stroke. He got up, his hair's all messed up. He's got rug burns all over him. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I'm just picturing my dad. He said to my brother, "Put the damn dog on the back." Oh, that was funny. Him and I were driving once, and it was in the winter, and he would always go for his little drives, he called. And of course, he was having his beer, and I had my learning permit, and he had this 4-wheel drive on. He had a Chevy Blazer with 36-inch tires, and he just loved that thing. Anyhow, so he had the 4-wheel drive on, those ones back in the day when you had to turn the caps outside. And when he got to the main road, he didn't take the time to take it off. And we're driving, and all of a sudden he hits an icy spot, and the Blazer starts to go like that, and it's heading right for this mailbox. And my dad turned to me and he said, "I'm not gonna hit that mailbox." So he swerves, and he swerves so hard that the Chevy just rolls. And those old Chevy doors were so heavy. And I mean, so it had rolled on the side where he was, so the driver's side. So I was dangling there. I took off my seatbelt and fell down, and I didn't have the strength because to open up that door. So my dad opened up the door, and he goes like this. So I put my foot on his hand, and he lunges me up, and I go flying through the air. And as I go flying through the air out of the Blazer, I land on top of the mailbox and break the mailbox. So had we just hit the silly mailbox, that would have ever happened. All right, it's getting too late. I have some pictures of my dad through the years that I put on there and did like a little, slideshow like thing. If you guys want to watch that, go ahead. If you don't, but our old friend Charlie would like to just say a few things. First, toast my dad. since he's the inspiration of my dad. And then on to the video. And thanks for watching, guys. And Mr. and Mrs. Worm, thank you so much. I absolutely love these. I just absolutely love these. I can't wait to put them out. Cheers. Happy birthday, Dad. Hi, everyone. Charles here, okay? And I was just celebrating old Johnny's birthday. I think him and I would have been good pals, y'all. So here's to you, Johnny, wherever you are, okay? Cheers! Enjoy the pictures, everyone, okay? I'm Charlie, okay?
Well, I'm a honky-tonk man, ain't a crazy style. Love to give the girls the world to the music of an old jukebox. When my money's all gone, I'm on the telephone singing, hey, hey, mama, can your daddy come home? Well, now I'm living wild and dangerously. I've got plenty of company. The moon comes up and the sun goes down, but I can't wait to see the light in town. 'Cause I'm a honky-tonk man, and I can't seem to stop. Love to give the girls the world to the music of an old jukebox. And when my money's all gone, I'm on the telephone singing, hey, hey, mama, can your daddy come home? Well, I'm a honky-tonk man, and I can't seem to stop. Love to give the girls the world to the music of an old jukebox. And when my money's all gone, I'm on the telephone singing, hey, hey, mama, can your daddy come home? Hey, now a pretty little girl and a jug of wine, well, that's what it takes to make a honky-tonk time. Jukebox moaning those honky-tonk sounds, but I can't wait to lay my money down. 'Cause I'm a honky-tonk man, and I can't seem to stop. Love to give the girls the world to the music of an old jukebox. When my money's all gone, I'm on the telephone singing, hey, hey, mama, can your daddy come home? I'm a honky-tonk man, and I can't seem to stop. Love to give the girls the world to the music of an old jukebox. When my money's all gone, I'm on the telephone singing, hey, hey, mama, can your daddy come